Join me as I turn this into this, my DIY beaded wind chimes.
Hello craft friends, I'm Casey Lum. Welcome to Social Crafts. Like I said, I was going to bring you some more kids crafts. We are stuck at home right now and we need to entertain our kids, and why not do some kids crafts, right? I'm trying to find things that you might have materials around the house for. If not, I do provide links in my description that you can get them ordered and shipped to you, but I try to think of things to do for the kids that we might have stuff around the house for. So welcome. The next craft is our kids wind chime, our beaded wind chime. This is just such a cute craft and just really simple and then kind of time consuming, so it helps you like entertain your kids for a while, and it's just beautiful. I think it's super cute, super fun. If you've ever seen my videos before, you know that I love to show you in fast forward in case you're short on time. So let's show you in fast forward. If you have time, stick around after. I give you all the supplies and a slower tutorial on how to achieve this craft. But without further ado, let's show you in fast forward. So welcome back. If this is your first time here, this is Social Crafts and I'm Casey Lum and the baby girl doing a few months. And Social Crafts is all about providing you really cool craft ideas to, obviously you can do them on your own, but also to do it as a craft party. We love doing craft parties, and that is just something to keep in mind when you watch our videos, that you can always do a craft party either for the kids or for your girls, and that's what we're all about. I put a new video out every Wednesday, so please consider subscribing. Subscribe below, ring the little bell icon so you can get all of my notifications when I post a new video. I would appreciate your support so much. So without further ado, let's talk about what you need for this craft. So like I said, you might have some of this stuff at home already, or you can do like a scavenger hunt and find some stuff. So first and foremost, you need a piece of wood. This is a piece of driftwood. You can buy them, but you might be able to find a twig, like a thick twig outside, or some branch that you can use. So I have a piece of driftwood here, and I found this on the beach. And then also, and of course, I'll put a link in below to buy driftwood if you would like to buy driftwood as well. I also drilled 5 holes here, so you will need a drill. Other ways you could do it is just tie it around the branch if you don't have a drill. But if you do have a drill, I drilled the first, like a middle one. I measured the middle first, then I measured outward. So I did 5 holes down the driftwood, okay? So you'll need a piece of wood like this. Other things that you need are beads. So I have a whole, I just always have a slew of plastic beads around, which is kind of weird, but you might too if you have kids. So you need plastic beads. The other thing, if you don't want to go out and buy plastic beads, you can do like a scavenger hunt outside with the kids, see what you can find, and even just tie like things onto string and have them hang down. So just use your imagination when it comes to this craft. I just want you to have something to do with your kids at home right now, and not have to feel like, oh, I don't have this stuff, we can't do it at all. So just think about what you can do instead. But if you do have beads, we have beads here. And then also, I have little bells. So I have little bells here. I'll put them in the description below if you want to buy some bells, or maybe you have some laying around from the holidays or something. You also need some string, something to hang it by. Yarn, string. This is just some regular like twine or string, you know. I'll put it in the link below if you want something like this, but you can use yarn or whatever. Scissors are handy. Scissors are handy to have. I also use for the string really thin string, so either fishing line, like maybe a fishing line already at home, that's totally usable. Also, I use this other bead brand. It's kind of basically like fishing line. So you can use that as well. I'll put that in the description below. But then also there's this like other really thin string that's used for beading as well that I've used. And I'll put a few options in the description below so you know what you can choose from. But if you have string at home, like feel free to use what you have. Like let's get creative with what we can do, right? So without further ado, let's show you how to do this craft.
So first you're going to sort your beads, and since I have 5 strands that are going to be on this wind chime, my first strand is going to be a red one, second one's going to be a yellow-orange one, third is a green, fourth is blue, and fifth is a purple. And I sort the beads, I get all variations of the color red, so pinks and reds. And then I also like to throw in colors from its neighboring strands. So I'll throw in, for the red one, I'll throw in maybe a little bit of yellow and orange and maybe even some purple. And then you'll see here for the green one, the neighboring strands are yellow and orange and then blue, so you can see I'll throw in a little bit of color there, just so it's not solid green. And then here for my blue strand, all the different shades of blue, and then a little bit of purple and a little bit of green, just to keep it interesting. So after you've sorted all your beads, you're gonna then prep your string. I use about 40 inches of string for each strand, and it won't be that long because you're going to fold it in half, and I'll show you here why. So do about 40 inches. I like to do it longer because if I don't use it, then I can cut it shorter, but at least I have some to play with. So once you get about 40 inches, just string on your bell only onto like one side of the strand so it hangs kind of like a necklace, and then find the middle of that string, and that's where the bell is going to hang. Once you find the middle, you're then going to knot it, do an overhand knot. 2 to 3 times will be good just to secure the bell in the center of the string. So once you're done knotting, you should have the bell secured in the middle of the string and then 2 strings coming up from it, looking kind of like a necklace. But you want to make sure you knot the bell down so it doesn't move from side to side like a charm on a necklace would. So you're going to knot it here, do a double knot or a triple knot, either one's fine. And I'll show you why we're doing this. It's a technique of why we're doing this. You'll see more at the end why we're doing it like this. Once you have your bell in place, and if you happen to, if the ends aren't straight or even with each other, go ahead and cut them so they are even with each other. So you want to go from the bell, hold the strings tight, and see if the 2 ends of the string are even. If they're not, go ahead and cut them so they are even. This is an optional step. I like to do it because if you are using the dandelion string, it does tend to fray a little bit. And so I like to super glue the ends just to seal the ends so they stop fraying. I'm not super gluing the ends to each other or to anything. I'm just super gluing them as a sealant. I'm using it as a sealant so the strings stop fraying. So you see I still have 2 ends of string here. And you can wipe off the excess with your fingers, or sometimes I like to use like wax paper so it doesn't get all over my fingers. But if I'm feeling crafty and don't mind getting dirty, I'll just wipe it off with my fingers. So you can see here, just using the sealant again, super glue as a sealant, wiping it off with a wax paper, and not having it glued to anything, just having it not fray anymore. And now you're ready to bead. So next you're going to bead on your beads on whatever colors and strands that you want to do. And what you're going to do is bead over the two ends as if it were one end. You bead over the two ends of string as if it were one end. So you're just gonna do that for the whole strand. So make sure you're beading as if it's one strand and not two separate strands. You can see I'm doing the blue here. So you shouldn't have any string hanging off. It should just be all enclosed in the beads. Doing a little variation, adding a little green, adding a little purple, so it's not just solid blue. Putting some big beads, small beads, different shape beads. And next, to tie it onto the driftwood, this is why we used double strings, and it'll make it pretty easy. So you want to push both of those strings through the hole in the driftwood. Sometimes it takes a little wiggling, so just be patient. Then once you have both strings through, just take one of the strings, take a stopper bead, whatever bead you want, and put it on only one of the strings, not through both, not like you did for the rest of the strand. So you should have both strings through the hole of the driftwood, then one string through the stopper bead, and then you're going to use those two strings and you're going to triple knot, an overhand knot, just like tying a shoe, on that stopper bead. You want to make sure it's tight and there's no spaces on that string in between the beads. So you just want to make sure you're tying it tight. And that is how you complete the strand onto the driftwood. And then of course you can cut off the excess then. And just one more time here, showing you that, and you're done.
So I hope your craft turned out amazing, amazing, amazing. If you did this craft or any variation of this craft, please tag me. I love seeing your crafts finished and I love seeing you with your crafts. So you can tag me at Social Crafts or hashtag Social Crafts. I will see it, I will find it. Maybe I'll even repost it. I would just love to see your finished craft. And then also, I love being in touch with you more than just YouTube. And so you can find more inspiration, more ideas, more things that we're up to on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. So connect with us here, Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. And then of course, if you liked this video, please thumbs up it. That helps us out tremendously. And then also subscribe. Subscribe here, ring the little bell so you know when we post new videos, and subscribe so we can stay in touch and you can see all the videos that come your way that we post. So thank you again, and we have so many more crafts coming for you, so stay tuned and we will see you next time.